Hi and welcome in this video. Today I'm at some nice waterfalls here in my backyard, and I don't have a brand new camera with me. I have my first camera here. It's 11 years old, 7.2 megapixels, and I will have a look if I can still take amazing photos with this camera today. I now found a cool position. I have a small waterfall here, I have a small tripod there, a small camera on top. Perfect composition. Now of course I try now to make more on the left hand corner with the waterfall. In the right hand corner I have some small greenish plant here on the right side. So it's kind of a cool look. It's kind of like I would photograph with a more modern camera or with the camera I use today. The only thing I cannot change is the focal length, because I have 3 times zoom, but I cannot zoom furthermore out. So I have to play a bit with the distance. I think it's something around 35, maybe 24 millimeter on full frame. Now with the distance I have here to the subject and what I see on my camera. I now have to figure out how I actually use the camera, if I should use or should not use an ND filter. And of course I want to take a nice long exposure. So see how that works. I now set the camera and I can tell you it's a bit of a challenge, because this camera can only do half a second of exposure as longest. So what I usually would do with a waterfall or creek like this is make a long exposure of, let's say, half a second, 1 second, 5 seconds, 15 seconds, maybe 30 seconds of exposure, but it's not possible. But at least half a second is possible. So the water itself is smooth in the image. What is as well not possible is to change the aperture manually. I can change ISO. I have no idea why I have to change ISO, not aperture or shutter speed, but I can change ISO. So I set the ISO on 100 or 50. That is the lowest ISO you can use on that camera here. And with that together, I then took my ND filter. It's an 8 times ND filter, and my polarizer in front of the lens. Then I have to turn, of course, the polarizer till I get the effect I want. And then I can take half a second exposure in this camera. And the settings are actually kind of strange. The settings are something like f3.1 and then half a second with ISO 100. So I have no idea how that works in this camera, but it works. And that is important. The best camera is the camera you have, of course, with you. So I will now try some other stuff. I will go now in portrait mode, maybe a bit more to the side. And what I have, of course, as well in the camera is a grid. That is amazing. It's a mirrorless camera, 11-year-old mirrorless camera actually. It has a grid, 3x3, Nikon. Where's 3x3 in your 11-year-old camera? And I have a histogram in the live view. It's amazing. And that's, of course, what I use as well. Great little helpers. 2 things I forgot about the camera. One thing is the 2-second self-timer. It's a great feature, and I use it with a bigger camera and a more actual camera as well. It's super cool because I just press the shutter and then it takes 2 seconds till the image actually is taken. And during that time I can put my ND filter and the polarizer in front, and I don't have the problem that I touch maybe with the filter my camera and then get a blurry or shaky image because I touched the camera. And the second thing is, I don't have RAW. The only thing I have is JPEG in that camera, 7.2 megapixel JPEG, highest quality. And that's of course what I take. I can even put VGA as a resolution. That is something like 640 x 480 or something like this. So it's a super low resolution, but of course I take the highest. But because I don't take RAW as a format, I have to take care of the exposure, I have to take care of the white balance, so everything that I capture is fixed. I of course can edit some stuff, but not as I could edit with the RAW file. Well, I think that does not look too bad. What do you think? Write me your opinion in the comments below. And maybe you have your own first camera. And I would wish that you take it out and maybe go out and try some stuff that you do today, but with your old love, your old baby, your old camera. It's kind of nostalgic. What did the camera, what could it do? Did I even use the feature 11 years ago, or did I not use the feature? What features are missing today? What features were actually cool 11 years ago that are still missing in some modern cameras or something? And I think it's just, yeah, cool way to feel and to live photography. You can go out now with your own first camera. What was your first camera? Write it, of course, in the comments below. And if you haven't seen the video where I talk about this baby, about my first camera and about the first images and actually show you my first images, and then look the video, I put the link in the description and as well in the end of the video. I see you next time. Subscribe to the channel, hit thumbs up if you haven't already, and I will now take some more photos. See you. Bye bye.